Hi cats. I expect you were asking why I've summoned you here. What I'm doing today is a job I haven't really talked about much before. I've made, and you shall be the first to know, a 4-track winter, I stress not Christmas this year, winter EP. There are 4 songs on it, and I was going to do quite another song, but I realised that I needed to send this song to somebody. I can't tell you who, because it could be quite big, but I've sent it out to 2 people. Even my manager doesn't know yet, but he will do when he sees this. I'll ring him up and tell him. It's a jazz song. It's a kind of hobby of mine, modern jazz, but I sort of like the 60s stuff, and I like the sung stuff. And what I'm actually doing here is I've done the track, I've recorded it, and I've mastered it, but I'm doing something that I need to do for my music publisher, and this is a job that you will find you have to do if you ever get a publisher. He or she will ask you for something called sync tracks. This is for synchronization. That means you've mixed your track, and now having got it perfect and kept that master, you've got to strip it back down again and make a well, if you work like me anyway, you've got to make an instrumental track of it. One so that someone who fancied singing it could sing over the top of it, or perhaps somebody who was an ad maker or a film maker. I'd like to hear that without the vocal on. It's handy for all sorts of stuff, a sync track. And sometimes it's a bit of an irksome task, but I quite enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it with this one because it's a jazz track. So let's see what the track's called. This is a track I wrote, a song I wrote some time ago. And I got around to recording it because I'm just about good enough. I know a little of every department of jazz that I can do an impression for jazz track. Okay, so here's what we're doing. There's your finger snaps. Should be in there. Now, I'll strip it down a bit and show you what's in there.
Get a room, why don't you two get a room? You have nothing to lose but yourselves by the light of the moon. You know the bottom is up.
So there you have it. Where did it start? On the piano. Written like a proper song. With the chords. Like that. I had to write that. It took quite a long time really because as I said, it's a little bit cleverer musically. How was I going to do it? Well, luckily on my Kurzweil keyboard is about 138 different ready-made drum tracks, and I just picked one called Shuffle or something like that. I think it's called Shuffle. Sounds like this. And I decorated with it with a few cymbals and things like that to make it sound like there was a faulty drummer there. Let's see if we can find it. Here it comes. Here it is. That's all it is. I'll turn it up. It's alright, isn't it? I put a little bit of this on it, I think. 8. Is it on 8 or 6?
You have nothing to.
There's cymbals on it I put on somewhere. The art of it was doing the bass, because I thought there's no excuse for me not doing a proper bass, and I wouldn't know how to write one from a computer, so I actually had to devise a part and learn it. So this is what happened, and I'm quite proud of it because it sounds sort of reasonably professional. The walk. I'm going to put the pianos in. I'm not clever enough to sound like a jazz piano player, so I put the rhythm piano part in first and added a few little twinkles and bluffed a bit. Here it comes. needed something else, like, you know, a sax would have been an obvious one to me, but the saxes, and I've got a couple of good tenor sax sounds and can play them on the keyboard. But what I actually found worked better than either a trumpet or a sax was a trombone. So I used that on the bridges. Use a trombone on the bridges. Should come in here. With a vocal.
Over the sea, the sound of the sea comes free. Get a room, why don't you two get a room? It's the grooviest tune ever crooned for a bride on a groom. But since you're so deeply ensconced in yourselves, why leave your purchases up on the shelves? You can slip up the stairs, let the room.
And you hear what it does. They're simple notes, but that's what would happen. Now, what I have to do now is do a rough mix of it for you. Shouldn't take too long. I'll just knock it up because I know where everything should be. And I'm going to take the vocal out so you can just hear the track. But first of all, let's hear what that singing was like. It wasn't bad for me. I can sing a bit of jazz. I thought it was important I did one good performance and didn't drop in or anything like that. Just sang it like I would if I were in a club and asked to get up and was relatively sober and did it. And I'd considered if I'd done this in a club with a visiting band, I'd done a reasonable job. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yourselves by the light. Hello room, why don't you two get a room?
Let's hear it flat, with no reverb.
You have nothing to lose but yourselves by the light of the moon.
You go.
You know the barman is off, it's 2:45. If you go to reception, they'll give you a key. Only beg for a balcony over the sea. The sound of the sea comes free.
Put a reverb on it now.
And get a room, why don't you two get a room? It's the grooviest tune ever crooned for a bride and a groom. But since you're so deeply ensconced in yourselves.
So what I'm going to do now for the sync track is to strip that off. So I'm going to put that on, bring the mix up, and this is what my publisher Leo will get with any luck. This with a bit of compression on it. In fact, maybe I've done it. I could play it to you. Play the one with the actual mix, a bit of it. Once I've done the mix, I put a little bit of compression on the whole track because it's a good idea, darling. Not too much, just a bit. There'll be some scat as well, so I did put some scat singing in there. Put it back with the vocal in. Because you need a bit of scat on a jazz track. That's I am taking the mickey, of course. I am mucking about, and everyone who knows jazz very well will know that. But altogether, the end impression is that someone's done a jazz track.
But since you're so deeply ensconced in yourselves, why leave your purchases up on the shelves? You can slip up the stairs, let the room serve yourselves. Call with the morning coffee.
This is the middle eight. You need one in the song.
Don't explain, because you tried it, the lady beside me and me same. Get a room, is off it.
So that's it. So that's a jazz track called Get a Room. It's cheaper in Wivenhoe Wednesdays. If someone does take me up on that, they'll probably say it's cheaper in Manhattan on Wednesdays, or it's cheaper in I don't know, Moose Dong, Nebraska. Wherever they live, they can put that one in there if they want. So it's perfect for a jazz singer who fancies it. I would like to sell this actually, because I could do with an extra bedroom, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So I've just done it for the sheer love of doing it. All right. So that's been your listen this week, mucking about with jazz with Mr. Mule. And I have to say that recently I bought this accoutrement. I shan't show you it yet. It's, yes, I thought you'd like this. I bought it to surprise the visitors with.